Hello everyone and welcome back to a new masterclass where I teach you how to master resonators in the most simple way possible. Today's masterclass features brand new 5-star Aero DPS support Sub-DPS Iuno. So if you want to maximize Iuno's potential and dominate the battlefield, stick around. Let's break down her kit, rotation, echo sets, weapons, and team comps. Let's dive in. Iuno has two types of basic attacks. You have your ring attack, a standard chain of basic combo using your lunar ring, a bow attack where the ring unfolds into a bow. This version hits harder, uses different multipliers, and deals resonance liberation damage, making it central to her kit. Unlike most characters, Iuno doesn't have traditional heavy attack. If you hold down the attack button, she'll just keep chaining ring or bow basic attacks. And about the bow attacks, to get stronger bow shots, you'll need to trigger her special follow-up attack. There are 3 ways you can trigger the special follow-up attack. First, whenever you finish the 3rd hit of the basic attack combo. The second is her intro skill. And then the third, her resonance skill. Once you perform any of the above methods, her skill button starts to glow and changing into a new icon, something like a bow. Press it and Iuno slams down, summoning a giant moon and activating her lunar cycle state, which is a part of a 14 mechanic, and this is where the real fun begins. Now let's talk about the lunar cycle. The lunar cycle has 2 phases, half moon and new moon. Once she shifts into a new moon, the ring transforms into a bow and her whole moveset changes. Her basic attack now fires arrows in 3 hit chain combos, and each part of the combo consumes 40 energy to boost damage and generate concerto energy. The skill button also transforms into an arrow shot with 2 charges, which you can use with basic attack to chain combo and consume 40 gauge. So even if you're low on energy, spending just a little is enough to get the full boosted multiplier, so don't stress about topping off every combo. Eventually you will burn through your entire gauge, but by that point your concerto bar would usually be full, unlocking Iuno's special heavy attack, Absolute Fullness. Holding down her basic attack creates a massive full moon domain for 30 seconds. Inside this field, your team gets passive healing and stamina recovery every few seconds, and if the active character gains a shield, they also get stacking buffs up to 40%. Like most outro buffs, if you switch characters, all the stacks will disappear. Iuno can't generate shields herself. You'd want a heavy shield teammate like Augusta. Even outside her domain, Iuno adds team value. Her outro buff boosts heavy attack by 50% for 14 seconds. This makes her a great alternative to Mortefi in teams around Jian, while also naturally pairing well with Augusta's shields. Her resonance liberation is straightforward, a big area strike that automatically kicks her back into a half moon, and yes, it can be used mid-air. Her passive ties everything together. First passive gives shields while performing almost every move like a basic attack, heavy attack, and dodge counter, resonance skill, resonance liberation, intro skill. The second passive instantly provides stacks of her damage buff whenever you use an intro or liberation, speeding up her rotations. TLDR, half moon builds you 40 energy, new moon uses 40 gauge for big arrows and burst damage, and once you're empty, Absolute Fullness drops a powerful domain for your whole team. Now, with everything that I've mentioned, let's dive into her rotation. Here, you would swap in with her intro skill, enhance resonance skill, resonance liberation, echo skill, press jump to enter half moon, enhance resonance skill, hold basic attack until full moon is activated, and then outro skill. And that's all you need to know about Iuno's full kit and rotation. Iuno is both stylish and strong, offering support, damage, and survivability all in one. Here are skill priority and talent priority you should aim for. Alright, let's talk about sequences. Is it worth pulling for Iuno beyond sequence 0? Here's the breakdown. The first sequence is already a huge upgrade. You get a 40% attack boost, faster energy regeneration, and resistance to interruption. The best part? After she drops her full moon domain, she keeps getting energy regeneration even off field. That alone gives her at least 25 energy, which means you don't need to stack energy regen substats anymore. Huge quality of life boost for her kit. Her S2 is even better. Once you reach 10 stacks of Wind Light, Iuno gains 40% damage deepen buff. This means on S2 onwards, you should ideally look into getting a crit damage main stat. Crit rate still works, but you risk going over the cap if your subsets are strong. Overall, S2 provides about a 25% damage increase and is a major power spike. S3 is all about her new moon phase. It buffs both her bow attacks and arrow shots, giving her around a 20% personal damage increase. Straightforward but solid. S4 adds a defensive quality of life. It grants the whole team a powerful shield equal to 48% of Iuno's attack for 30 seconds. Great for survivability, especially for tougher content. S5, there's not much to say, you can see it on your screen. Iuno gains 20% resonance liberation damage bonus. So yeah. And finally at S6, this is where it completely changes the rotation. If you stick to Aero playstyle, you'll see about a 35% damage boost. But if you want to fully optimize and take advantage of the new mechanics, as shown in the infographics, her personal damage can skyrocket for over 100%. This is her true power spike. So the recommended sequence: S0R0 is already very strong, S3R0 is a sweet spot, giving her big boost without requiring everything. And beyond that, S4 and S6 are great if you love Iuno and want to maximize her potential, but they're not essential for everyone. Now onto echo sets. Iuno has two main echo sets depending on where you are in the game. For support or sub-DPS Iuno, you'll want to run 5-piece Moonlit Clouds paired with Heron for the echo skill. This is the go-to setup if you're slotting her on their team with mainly buffs and utility. No matter which build you choose, your main stats priorities will stay the same. Your cost 4 should be crit rate or crit damage, 3-piece cost should be arrow damage bonus, and your first cost should be attack percent. For substats, you just want to make sure Iuno reaches at least 135% energy regen. Once you've hit that mark, focus on getting subsets like crit rate and crit damage, resonance liberation bonus, attack percent, and then finally flat attack or energy regen. And if you want to build Iuno as your main damage carry, then just go for a 3-piece Crown of Valor, and then pair it with any 2-piece form of Sierra Gale, Gust of Welkin, and Windward Pilgrimage. And for the echo skill here, you'd want Lady of the Sea. As for the main set of substat, it's the same as before. This combination purely focuses on maximizing her personal damage output in the new moon state. Now onto weapon recommendations. Iuno's signature is of course her best in slot, but the interesting part is Shangli Yao's signature weapon performs about 93% of the same power. When you look at team damage as a whole, the difference ends up being less than 2%, which is honestly negligible. So unless if you really want Iuno's weapon for collection or aesthetics, there's no real need to pull for it. Also, you don't need to bother with conservator energy weapons like Marcato, since Iuno doesn't need extra conservator generation, so they provide no real benefit to her kit, as she has better options as shown here. Now onto team compositions. Want the best team synergy for Iuno? Here are our top team comps. Team 1 will consist of Augusta, Iuno, and Shorekeeper. Augusta is the electro heavy attack main DPS here. She naturally generates her own shields, which works perfectly with Iuno's full moon domain to gain extra stacks for all damage deepen. Iuno's outro also gives Augusta heavy attack bonus damage, which makes her even stronger. Meanwhile, Shorekeeper provides healing, 15% all damage deepen, and her Resonance Liberation adds crit rate and crit damage, and anti-interruption. Altogether, this is Iuno's strongest team comp. Team 2 will consist of Jian, Iuno, and Shorekeeper. Jian takes the role of an Aero heavy attack carry. He gets value from Iuno's outro, which directly buffs heavy attacks, while her domain provides additional team-wide damage. Shorekeeper once again ties the team together with healing, crit buffs, and stability, keeping Jian safe during his burst windows. This comp is ideal if you're a Jian main. And then finally, Team 3 consists of Iuno, Chikona, and Shorekeeper. If you want Iuno as your main DPS, this setup works well. Iuno dishes out damage with her bow attacks, while Chikona boosts arrow damage and contributes her own DPS on the side. And then Shorekeeper supports the team with reliable healing, all damage deepen, crit buffs, and ensuring Iuno stays alive and consistent throughout the fight. So with all of this said, what do you guys think about Iuno? Are you planning on pulling for her? Let us know in the comment section below. For any updates and changes to the guide, be sure to check the pinned comment. If this guide helped you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more quick and easy Wuthering Waves guides. Thanks for watching, best of luck with your pulls, and have a wonderful day.